and welcome to the ILFL Soccer Night Show on a Monday night here on NTV. My name is Nanu Miah and I will be the presenter for tonight. On my right I have Jermaine Wright from the Hackney and Leighton League, and on my far right I have Chris Rofen from Redcoat Football Club. On my left I have Terry Lewis from Marlin Football Club and Shane Joseph, same again, from Marlin Football Club. Welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Now, before I go any further, I'd just like to mention to you all that Camrus, he is ILFL chairman, is going through a very difficult time as his mother sadly passed away last Tuesday. So please remember her in your thoughts and in your prayers. For those who know Camrus, you know him that he is a bit of an alcoholic, workaholic. However, we urge you not to contact him during this difficult time. Now, the events in the last week, there's a lot that took place in the last sort of 7 days. We're talking about the Interleague Champions Cup final, Marlin versus Shakespeare. We're also talking about the Interleague Challenge Cup final, Redcoat versus Esprit. We've got a lot to talk about the ILFL Senior League tables and, of course, the ILFL and Sonali Otis League Cup games, the quarterfinals and the semi-finals. Now, if I can show you on the screen, the results from yesterday, Marlin versus Shakespeare. So Marlin winning very convincingly against Shakespeare. So that's 3-1. That's how it actually ended. Now, Terry, do you want to tell us a bit about the game, how it all started and how it ended?
It started off very well, very well. First 5 minutes, we drove at them. And I think we scored early, didn't we, Shane?
Yeah, first 7 minutes.
First 7 minutes. We got our claws into the game. First half, we really went at them, We reduced them to getting into our half 4 or 5 times, you say, Shane?
Yeah.
And we kept it very strong.
Do you think it was the early 2 goals that had actually sealed the win? Or did you have to fight for it all the way?
Not really. At 2-0 was a dangerous score. And I was telling people on the sideline this, like, you know, and it was when we got the 3rd goal that we really did start playing some really good football. Really good football, like, you know. Okay,
Shane, did you play yesterday?
No, I'm the captain.
You were the captain, so you were on the sideline.
Yeah.
So how was it for you? I mean, the actual experience itself, joining the actual tournament itself and getting right through to the end.
It's a different competition. We ain't been in this competition. It was the 2nd time we've been in it. Last year we got to the semi-finals against Stepney, and we lost the game. We lost us.
Yes, I watched that game from start to finish.
But throughout this year's competition, we felt that we didn't get the respect that we deserve. So we were going at teams full-hearted. Hence why we only conceded 1 goal throughout the whole tournament.
Wow, okay. I'm looking at the previous winners, Jermaine. We've got London Tigers from the Musical League. We had Black Meteors winning it twice. Go as All-Stars, and now we have Mile End.
Yeah.
There isn't an ILFL team in that list. So do you have any views on that at all? I mean, you watch a lot of ILFL teams play.
Yeah, I do. I do. And when we first came in it, I remember the ILFL teams, it was very, very tough for them. Playing against Hackney and Leighton teams, even Musical League teams as well, and they've really strengthened a lot, the ILFL teams. And they've got to, what, 2 semi-finals this year. Yeah. And watching their performances, they've really improved a lot, the ILFL teams, over the years. Same as Gower All-Stars. Myland, it's their 2nd season, and they got semi-finals last year, and this year they won it. You know, for them, they strengthened from last season. They were the most consistent team throughout the tournament. From the get-go, and there was never a dull moment with watching Myland. It was just fun to watch all the time. So
Terry, I mean, what actually convinced you, apart from Jermaine convincing you to participate in this tournament? I mean, what made you come into this tournament?
I just want to try and win everything, because I've brought in a manager who's not here tonight, Justin, and he's a high-class manager. Yeah, gets high-class players. And that's what I want. That's what I wanted, and to go for everything, which we are now. We're in 2 cups, there's 2 quarterfinals of the cup, 2 cups were left, and we're also on the same top of the league We're 6 points behind the leaders, but we've got 2 games in hand.
Okay,
So
that's
if we
like a
win-
very
if we
huge
win
difference.
Then we'll be on the same points.
Okay, so I understand you've played Shakespeare before.
Shakespeare at the beginning of the
At the
season.
beginning of the season.
And they tonked us.
Really?
5-1.
How did that end? 5-1?
5-1.
Right, okay. So, so it's definitely a result for you guys.
Well, it was good. It was early in the season, and from there we have built the side up stronger, stronger and stronger. I mean, I had 18, 19 players over there yesterday.
Wow, that's a huge,
Yeah.
absolutely huge squad. I mean, what does it take to win this type of tournament? It's not exactly a walk in the park, is it?
No, it ain't. It's we had a good talk before the season started. We says that no one is going to beat us. We are going to try and win everything, and that was the main one. It's more or less like the Champions League, and that's the cup that we wanted.
Wow. Chris, I'm going to bring you into this. Now, you had a fantastic game yesterday, and I'm not going to show the results just yet because it's not your time yet. Have you been following the Champions Cup at all?
Not at all, really. Until yesterday, I think it was a game just before us.
Okay.
So we saw a little bit of it there, and quite impressed really with what we see. It was, particularly from the winning side on the day, it's really strong.
From someone who doesn't know much about this competition, watching it from the sidelines, what do you think of the quality?
I mean, it's probably a step up from what we've been playing week in, week out in the first division of the ILFL. You can see that physically, it's a lot more physical, and the quality on the ball as well seems to be there. It's a little bit, I'd say, probably a little bit more on par with in the Premier League of the ILFL compared to the first division which we've been playing in.
Okay, so Jermaine, I'm going to bring you into this. What I've been talking to Terry just earlier. What does it actually take to win this type of competition?
Well, I think since we've been involved in it, I think teams know they have to bring players. It's not about being beat 6-0, 7-0, and that's not happening as often as it has been before. And I think a lot of the teams that have gone into this competition now they know they have to up their game to participate. And I think that is what teams want to be playing against. Outside of their respective leagues, something as entertaining as the Champions Cup, because again, you've got some good teams in there, and people do know that they have to bring players to kind of compete against other teams.
Is it just bringing in players or getting the best out of them? I mean, what does it actually take to play like a team like Myland? Do you need to get Myland players in, or is there another way?
The one thing with Hackney Leighton teams is that's their team. That is their team. Every Sunday, and what I've noticed with the competition is other teams have been bringing in players to compete, and it's not a bad thing, because we want this competition to be, the best there is. So teams need to bring what they can to compete, basically, and I just think that it's fun, and I wouldn't want to see it in any other way, to be honest with you. I want the teams to bring the best players that they can to compete in this tournament, because it's that type of tournament.
Yeah, it is. I mean, Myland did find out last year that with Stepney that it's not as easy as just coming and having a game and having a kick around.
No, like they say, football's a funny old game, and we thought we was going to beat Stepney last year, but they put up a good performance, and we got knocked out. But we needed to rectify it this year, and I said to you, Jermaine, didn't I, at the beginning of the season?
Yeah, you did.
Yes?
Yes, you did.
Yeah. Conceding 1 goal.
So, are you likely to participate next season, or
we'll be there?
It depends on the league standing, does it? Or I mean, how do you select your teams anyway from your?
We pretty much put in teams into this competition, because when I was actually asked to enter teams, it was originally just put your Prem teams in there. So we kind of put in teams are not going to be any trouble. They can play football. And that's why, again, I don't think they've even hardly had any bookings, Myland as well this year, most of the teams, and that's how we kind of do it. We look at teams that can play football and that are not going to be bringing any violence or anything to this competition, that just dare to play football, and that's what we go by. So there were teams I could have put in, but certain things happen and we took a different route.
Okay, fantastic. Right, let's just move on to the Inter-League Challenge Cup final. Now, if I can bring up the results on the screen, it was Red Coat versus Esprit. It was an all ILFL final, so Red Coat winning quite convincingly. Now, Chris, I understand you're part of Red Coat. You also played yesterday.
Yeah, I did, yeah.
Okay, how
Captain,
did that go?
Well, 5-0, I think the result says it all, really. I mean, I'll say the preparation beforehand was fantastic. You know, all the boys were switched on, sort of there on time, really good, focused warm-up. We come out there and I think within the first 10 minutes we were sort of 2-0 up and in cruise control, really. 5-0 at half-time, the game was sort of beyond any reach, really.
Okay, would you say the game was sort of one-sided? Because that's how it looks like from the results.
Pretty straightforward, yeah. I mean, from a cup final, you would probably expect it to be a little bit more competitive, especially considering that they came runners-up in our league as well. So we're probably expecting a little bit more of a game, to be honest. But like I said, I think that is largely due to our preparation and the way we went about our business on the day. Okay,
well, I'll tell you what. We're running short of time because we have to take a break soon. I've got a few questions, and maybe you can answer them in the next sort of segment. It took you nearly 4 years to get promoted. Can you share your experience? That's one thing. That's the first question. What was the most challenging event in the past 4 years that you've participated in at ILFL? Now that you're promoted, what preparations are you making to ensure that you don't get demoted straight away? Because we've seen that happen to various teams more recently. And are you recruiting more players? So those are the answers that you need for the next segment. So anyway, this is all we have time for in this segment. So don't go away. We're going to take a break and see you in a few minutes.